April 10th, 1912, the RMS Titanic, the largest ship ever built, set sail from Southampton, England. On board, passengers marveled at its luxury. But even as the champagne flows, a deadly warning lies ahead, one that was ignored. The Titanic was called unsinkable. Newspapers, engineers, and even the ship's builders boasted it was a marvel of modern technology. But just days before departure, Captain Edward Smith received multiple ice warnings from nearby ships. Hundreds of miles of dangerous icebergs lay ahead. One warning came from the RMS Coronia, big icebergs to the southward. Another from the Baltic, ice in vicinity of 41 degrees. Yet the Titanic pressed on at full speed, 22 knots, straight into the danger zone. It wasn't just the ice. Lifeboat regulations were outdated. The Titanic carried only 20 lifeboats, enough for half of the people on board. And yet, no one protested. By the early morning of April 14, 1912, the Titanic would face the very disaster these warnings had foretold. April 14, 1912, 11:40 p.m. The Titanic is slicing through the North Atlantic. Lookouts Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee spot an iceberg dead ahead. Fleet rings the warning bell and shouts, "Iceberg, right ahead!" First Officer William Murdoch orders a hard starboard turn and full stop, but it is too late. The iceberg scrapes along the starboard side, opening 5 of the 16 watertight compartments. Designed to stay afloat with 4 flooded compartments, the Titanic's fate was sealed. Captain Smith was informed immediately. The crew knew the ship would sink within hours. Messages were sent to nearby ships. The RMS Carpathia, 58 miles away, responds, "We are coming at full speed." As the ship begins to list, lifeboat procedures start. Women and children first. Chaos erupts. Officers like Murdoch and Second Officer Charles Lightoller struggle to maintain order. Some lifeboats are launched half-empty. Fear, confusion, and disbelief dominate. Passenger stories highlight the human drama. Molly Brown, later nicknamed the unsinkable Molly Brown, urges others into lifeboats and helps command survivors. Meanwhile, men like John Jacob Astor, the richest passenger, insist on staying with their families. Around 2:20 a.m., the Titanic breaks apart. Witnesses report the stern rising high before plunging into the icy Atlantic. Over 1,500 lives are lost. Only about 700 survived. The cold water was deadly. Hypothermia claimed most. Investigations follow. The British and U.S. inquiries uncover ignored ice warnings, lifeboat shortages, and poor emergency procedures. White Star Line executives defend themselves, insisting no one could have predicted such a disaster. Yet the evidence is clear. The iceberg was avoidable, the warnings were real, and the mistakes were human. The Titanic teaches a brutal lesson in hubris and overconfidence. Despite multiple warnings, speed and pride took precedence. Safety regulations were ignored. Technology was trusted over common sense. The irony is bitter. A ship called unsinkable sank because people refused to believe in danger. Today, Titanic survivors' testimonies and the wreck itself lie 12,500 feet beneath the Atlantic, a frozen reminder of ignored warnings. Every new cruise ship, every maritime safety regulation owes its existence to the Titanic. Lifeboat drills, iceberg patrols, and wireless communications are now mandatory. In history, the Titanic is more than a shipwreck. It is a warning, still relevant. Listen to the signals. Respect nature. Pride can be fatal. The Titanic warning everyone ignored. History's lesson that echoes across the seas over a century later.